Hello, my dearest confidant. Something frustrating happened yesterday and I'm struggling. And so I wanted to make a video about it because either you're on the side of it being happened to, or you're the one who's doing it and you don't realize it. But we had a situation occur where somebody made plans about something big that was happening to them, and some other people came in and changed the location and time and the intent of the event in a group chat, and I had an issue with that. And so I said something after asking clarifying questions like, hey, did the original person want this change in venue, time, and intent? And they said no. And so then I went to the people that changed those things and said, hey, this wasn't supposed to be about you. This was supposed to be about them. Why did you feel the need to change it? And then I declined the invitation and said, okay, well, now we can't. We originally said yes, and now we can't go. Because it wasn't in line with anything that was supposed to be happening. And I struggled the rest of the day yesterday. I didn't sleep well last night. And it's because, you know, I know that I upset at least 4 people in the situation because I honored my needs. And also tried to honor the needs and intent of the original person doing the event, because it really was supposed to be about them. And that person is near and dear to my heart. And I feel as though they are being very subtly manipulated, and it's been going on for years. So much so to the point where this person realizes that they need to just go along with whatever those people say, because it's easier for them in the long run, right? They can tamp down who they are in order to appease everyone else. And I recognize those bits in myself, the younger version of myself. And, you know, I'm struggling with who I was, the people pleaser, and who I want to be, which is a person that honors their own needs and wants, and is okay with people being upset about me honoring my needs and wants, right? Because I can't make everybody happy. But if I have to choose to make someone happy, it's gonna need to be me for the long term, right? Because then if I'm happy, then I can in turn change that joy into something else somewhere else, right? In another positive way. But if I'm unhappy, then it's going to come out in an unhappy way in other places in my life. And there's other people in my life that don't deserve unhappy me, right? Because they are special to me. They are near and dear to me, and they deserve more than me being upset about some people that kind of matter but don't matter in the long run. So, I'm struggling because, you know, I said something and I haven't in the past. And I've said something this time in a already stressful situation, whereas, you know, again, these individuals have been very controlling in the past, and I've not said anything. They've taken over several special events and made it seem like I'm the odd one out. And I get it, I do say no sometimes, but it's also because I feel uncomfortable. And they schedule events at times that are not conducive to life here on the farmette. And I'm not going to apologize for that. Either my needs are also considered so I can be included, or they're not considered because they don't matter, and that means that I don't need to spend time with you, right? And so I'm at this rock and a hard place right now. It's really sad because there's some other things that need to happen now with these same groups of individuals that I now feel uncomfortable around, but I want to honor my commitments that I've already made. And so I haven't decided which video you guys are going to get to see. There's a very long version out there that explains what happened and goes into detail without names. Or this version that goes into just how I feel and how I'm processing it. And you know, this video is good because it's helping me to process it. How do I feel? Why do I feel that way? And I know that I could have done things differently. But it would have been the way that I used to do things, which would have solved nothing. At least this way I made some waves, but I made people look at either me and see if they want to be involved with me, or I made them actually self-reflect and say, wait a minute, no, she actually has a point here. Maybe I'm not totally right, but I have a point, and this shouldn't be about me at all. And I, of course, believe that it's going to go the way of, what the hell's wrong with her? You know, and there's not going to be a whole lot of self-reflection, because they're getting their way. Ultimately, the original event organizer has now divided the event into 2 distinct separate groups so that way they could accommodate everyone. And I specifically said, look, if you're doing it just to accommodate me, you don't have to do that. I'm okay. We're okay over here. We know that we'll get to spend another special event time with you, and it doesn't have to be this one. And I'm still making an effort despite the appearances to other people that that's not the case. And it's just sad because I've done a lot in the way that I know that I'm capable of. And a lot of hard stuff has happened to me in the last month or so, surrounding relationships. And if you follow astrology, you'll know that this is not out of the normal for this time period. And, you know, a lot of good's going to come out of it, but the in-between is hard. And standing up for yourself, I guess really that's the point of this video. Standing up for yourself is not easy, but in the long run, it's worth it. Because I know that this is just a small bump in the road. I haven't severed my relationship with the original event organizer because of this. It might end up being a nail in the coffin, but I don't believe that that's going to be the case. I believe that, you know, we were able to come to an understanding, if not agreement, that me saying, hey, they changed all of the details, that's not okay. They understood where I was coming from. After the initial buck and kick, like, what the hell, why are you being so difficult, and this and that. Which I initially said yes to the original plans, so it really actually wasn't me that was being difficult. It just seems that way, because the other people are manipulative, and they went out and said, why is she being like this? This came out of nowhere, like, what's happening? But it didn't, you know, it's long, hard years of seeing this happen, and being an outside person, you know, trying to find a way to fit in a way that is agreeable to my spirit. So these videos are great because they help me process my feelings, and these tears didn't come yesterday. I was just really mad yesterday. And so now I can tell that even though I had a hard day and a hard night, that this is now passing, and I'll be able to stop overthinking it. Just sitting with those emotions is so important, because you get to that point of release, and these are release. This is release. I'm actually able to let it go. You know, I've had some people ask me in the past, you know, I've said, you know, hey, we need to let this go or whatever, and I've struggled with that myself. Like, what does that actually mean? What does that actually mean? This video is an example of me self-reflecting, so I have self-awareness. I am sitting with the emotion, and I am visibly letting it go. So, I mean, this is the answer right here. This is the video that's going to be posted. And so if you're here with me to the end, you've gotten to the part where you've seen the release. You've seen what happens. And so I appreciate you being here and watching the videos and sticking with me and understanding that this is also happening to you in areas of your life, and there's ways that you can visibly sit and, you know, instead of just thinking about it, like actually process it. And so I did ask a valued friend what they thought about the situation, and I didn't know what she was going to say, whether she was going to say, yeah, you're right, or I can see both sides, or no, they're right. And she was like, oh no, absolutely. I see the blatant disregard and the non-consideration here. And so despite what they say, their actions are showing that they are wanting their own way. But that part's neither here nor there in the big scheme of things. It's really about me sitting with this and being okay with the fact that I got into a disagreement with multiple people, and I stood up for myself regardless, and I stood my ground, which is also important because a lot of times I'll just be like, okay, fine, because the event organizer did ask me, why can't you just do this for me? And I'm like, because I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me. So that's it. I'm doing this for me. Is there anything else that I want to say to you before I let you go, my dearest confidant? I guess, if nothing else, do the thing. Do the thing for you. Because the stars will align for you when you do. Sit with it. Process it. Don't disassociate. No scrolling on social media. No drinking in excess or eating in excess. No working out till you're exhausted. No working late hours trying to keep yourself busy to not process it. Sit down. Do a video log if you need to. And really actually process it so you can let it go. I love you, my dearest confidant. Until next time.